Mathematicians, I was looking at some photos the other day, and these are pictures of my daughter when she was younger, when she was a little older, and then just this last year. And you know what I noticed? She's still the same person, but she's changed a little bit. I mean, yeah, her hair has been long the whole time, but at one point she had braces, and she just looks a little bit older, right? Well, it kind of makes me think about what we're going to talk about today. We're going to actually talk about rectangles, and you may think, how do these have anything to do with rectangles? Well, we just spent a few minutes with me describing my daughter and how she's similar in these pictures, but there were some differences too. And that's what we're going to do with the rectangles today. Because I want to teach you that when we look at shapes that we can describe and compare them. And we're going to talk about rectangles today. So let's take a look at one right now. Let's really study it for just a minute. I mean, it's blue, but that's not really us looking closely at a rectangle, like what is special about a rectangle. I'm seeing that it has straight sides. Are you? Let's count those sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you remember that big word for corners? It starts with a V. Vertices. Can you try it? Vertices. Yes. Let's see how many vertices there are. One is just a vertex. So here's one vertex. Now we have 2. Now we change to vertices. 3, 4 vertices. Interesting. If I were to move this rectangle like this, is it still a rectangle? Yeah, it doesn't change if we move it. Well, take a look at all of these. Are these all rectangles? Let's study them. I'm going to say yes. How are they all alike? I'm going to count this one because if it's a rectangle, we noticed that it should have 4 straight sides and 4 vertices. I'm going to count this one. Will you pick another one to count along with me? Let's count the straight sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4 straight sides. Should have 4 vertices. Those corners, right? Did you find one on here you're going to count? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 vertices. You know what I noticed that we didn't talk about on the last one? These rectangles, when you look at the 2 sides meeting at that vertex, it's like an L. It's not narrow or big and wide, but it's like an L. You could even trace it. Can you do it in the air while I trace over this? Ready? Let's make it that L. It goes down to the vertex and then across. Oh my goodness, it does that on every side. That sounds pretty special about a rectangle. So we should remember that. I'm going to move this rectangle because there is another shape on here. Did I surprise you? Do you know the name of that red shape? It's a square. You're exactly right. Now, let's compare that square to these rectangles. And since this one's close by, I'm just going to use this one, but really we could use any of these rectangles. So let's see. If this is a square, we should see if it has any straight sides. I think it does. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 straight sides, just like a rectangle? Let's count its vertices. We know a rectangle had 4. Let's count those. 1, 2, 3, 4. A square has 4 vertices also? Ooh. Do those sides meet up and make that L? Let's try it. You try it in the air while I trace over. We're going to go down and across. It does! Oh my word. Do you know what? A square is a special kind of rectangle. How about that? Now, there is a difference between this rectangle and this square. What do you notice? Did you say that two of the sides of a rectangle are longer than two other sides? Yeah, but a square, they're all the same. So interesting. Let's take a look at this rectangle compared to a triangle. Is there anything that's the same about them? I agree. They have straight sides and they have vertices. How are they different though? Oh yeah, a rectangle has 1, 2, 3, 4 straight sides, and a triangle has 1, 2, 3 straight sides. How about the vertices? A rectangle has 1, 2, 3, 4, but a triangle has 1, 2, 3. This makes me think you could almost do this with other shapes too, right? You could look at how are they the same and how are they different. You know, let's take a look at these shapes next to a rectangle. Is this kite a rectangle? Remember, a rectangle had 4 vertices, 4 straight sides, and the sides come together to make L's in each of those corners. Well, let's take a look at the kite. There's 1, 2, 3. There's 4 sides. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 vertices. That looks the same. Oh, I noticed it too. But the corners don't make that L, do they? So it's not a rectangle. How about this trapezoid? I see 4 sides too, and I see 4 vertices. I saw it too, but the corners don't make that L. Oh my goodness. You know, this makes me think it may be kind of fun to do some exploring and looking for rectangles. And you could look and describe those shapes and check out, do they have 4 sides, straight ones, 4 corners, vertices, and are those corners in the shape of an L? You know, I noticed this dollar bill and these doors. It would be great if you could notice some things around you too. So as you go today, be on the lookout for rectangles and be thinking, how could I compare them and describe them? Off you go.